Hello guys, this is great time to start the preparation of Bihar STET 2026. So in this video I am going to cover most important DBMS MCQ and what I am thinking that I have to cover the concept. With that concept we can do some MCQ will be better to understand the concept, right? So will be very helpful, but you have to do some response in comment. Based on that I'll try to cover those one whenever I will get time. So no worries, when you will qualify this STT 26 you will be in queue of TRE until my child will born, because you know that everyone have to get the opportunity like you guys. So don't worry, this is just kind of fun. Let's start. So first question is assertion and region. So here assertion is we can retrieve record from more than one table in MySQL. So this is correct, because we can retrieve the data from two or more table, one more table, right? And region is foreign key is used to establish relation between two table. So this is correct, but the region is not correct of this assertion, because we can use joins to retrieve more than one table record. So option A is both assertion and region are true. Yeah, this is perfect, and region is correct explanation of assertion, which is incorrect, because this region is not perfect for this assertion. So option B is both assertion and region are true, but region is not correct explanation of assertion A. Yeah, that is what it is. So here you can see the explanation. Both the assertion and region are true. We can retrieve data from more than one table in MySQL using operations such as joins, which I have mentioned, right? Foreign key is used to establish the relation, but this is not a correct explanation what we are expecting. You see this. However, according to the answer key, the region is not considered in the direct explanation of assertion. Actually, this is that I have taken it from the STT PYQ. So this is most important question. Have to understand. Next is which of the following is database? MySQL is database. Yeah, of course, this is relational database. Informix, of course, this is also database, and this database is coming from IBM. So he is providing this kind of database. Actually, this is used for embedded servers, and it support MySQL. It support SQL, NoSQL, JSON kind of format as well. And SQL server is Microsoft MS SQL, and that will be all of the above. Here's the explanation as well. So I'll give this in description. You guys can go through and attend this quiz, right? Next is which SQL statement is used to update data in database. So update is used to update the database. You know that alter is used to modify the table. You can add the column. If you want to increase the size of any column, you can do that by using this alter query. But by using that you can't update any of the data. So to update the data we are using update, right? Okay, here you can see the example as well. Update student set name equal to Rahul, where id equal to 1. That means where the id is 1 in that name column, it is trying to update with Rahul. Next question is aggregate function can be used with dash clause. They cannot be used with dash cloud. So always just remember, all aggregate function will use with having clause, and where cannot be used, because where is used to just filter. Here you can see after here you can see this filter, in the sense means it is filtering one id with 1, and in that id it's trying to update. That is what it is. So always use that. And what are the aggregate function we have? There are 5 aggregate function: count, sum, average, which is avg, max, min. Okay, next question is the ability to query data as well as insert, delete, and alter tuples is offered by. So by which query insertion, deletion, and alter tuple is offered? So by using that that DDL, sorry, this is data definition language, so we can use DML, data manipulation language, to manipulate the data, right? TCL is using for the transition and all, so in that is transition control language. You can say that sequence, rollback and all we are using for that. And DQL is data control language. This is used to select query, I think so. DDL is used to create the table, alter table, truncate, drop. In those queries you're using, it is providing through this data definition language. Next question is which of the following is not valid relation operation used where with where clause? So yeah, this is greater than, this is less than equal to, and option C, if you see here, it looks like that greater than equal to, but it is not, because this greater than sign will come first and then we'll have this equal sign. So we can select that one, right? So here you can see this is wrong one. We'll have some, sorry, this is wrong one. We'll have like first greater than equal to sign. Next question is what kind of what is the default format of date in MySQL? So we'll be start with the year, month and date. So will be DDMM, so YYMMDD. So in this format, like you can see this example is here, right? Year, month, day. You just remember this. Which aggregate function in SQL displays the number of values in the specified column ignoring nulls? So of course here it is asking that, like it's count of the record in table. So for that we are using count, right? So we'll use this count. Here you see the example, we are passing this count and column number. So in that, by this is aggregate function, which I have already seen, which we have seen over here, right? We have this 5 kind of aggregate function. So count is used to count this how many records there in database in this table. Sum is used to perform the sum particular column. So like sum of salary and all. Average is used to find the average. Maximum means maximum, mean means mean. So based on the naming convention is subsequent identify what is the answer. Next question is an index is class third A. So it is talking about the index, why we are using the index and all, right, in database. So it is one set of field that include the primary key, not important. So the data record of file are organized in the same order as the data enters in index. So this looks perfect because this is what we are using for index, right? Here's the explanation. A cluster index is related to the ordering of the data record. Today's last question is which SQL command is used to remove a table completely from the database? So there are two things, that one is truncate and one is drop. So whenever we will perform drop table, so what it will do means it will completely delete that particular table. So whether what are the data we have or not in that table, it will completely delete everything. And when we perform the truncate table, what it will do, it will delete all those data from that particular table, but it will remain same the structure of the table, like what are the column it contains, what is the size and all for the table, but it will delete entire data. So this both command is important. So in this case we will have the answer drop table. So here you can see this, and delete, remove selected rows. Okay, so based on the selections, what are the column you want to remove, we can use delete to delete that record. Truncate will remove all those record and it is faster than delete. And next we have the drop table, remove all like complete table. So whether data is there or not, it will delete everything. Okay, so this is what all about. So if you like, just like this video, and if you're coming first time, you just subscribe, so we'll have some better understanding about the computer science subject. So we'll try to cover more in next video. Based on your input, I'll try to cover that.